Hello and welcome everyone to AARP Wyoming's Video Voter Guide Series for 2024. I'm Tom Laycock with AARP Wyoming, and today we're joined by Kevin Campbell, who's running for the Wyoming Legislature in House District 62, representing parts of Natrona and Converse County. AARP has a proud 40-year history of nonpartisan voter engagement and does not endorse or oppose candidates, nor does AARP make contributions to political campaigns or candidates at any level. Instead, we ask questions so our members understand where candidates stand on important issues and make their own decisions on Election Day. Today, we'll ask Mr. Campbell 3 questions, allowing for a 30-second response to each. Then we'll give Mr. Campbell 2 minutes to make his pitch to the voters of House District 62. So, Mr. Campbell, our first question is this. Over the last 2 years, the Wyoming Legislature has made providing property tax relief for its citizens a priority. In your view, what's the most effective way to provide relief while balancing revenue needs for our schools, counties, and other entities that rely on property tax to maintain sustainable funding?
Well, I appreciate that question, Tom. The last legislature, they took a couple stabs at trying to solve this, and they did quite a little bit of good in the fact that they got a little bit of relief, but nothing long term. And to me, I find it immoral that I've worked so hard my life to pay off my home. And even after I've paid off my taxes, I still owe the state of Wyoming rent. And the state of Wyoming has $30 billion in tax reserves. We need to find a long-term solution. The bills that were presented in the last session, there's still merit for a lot of those with a little bit of revision. And the last month or so, I've heard 2 or 3 different plans that are just exactly that. They're plans. They're not in a bill form or anything yet. But right now, there's a plan out there that I really like that I'm not going to drill down into the details on because I don't want to butcher somebody else's idea. But I'm sure that it will come to light here very soon. And I believe that it actually has merit of not only keeping things funded at the same level, but greatly reducing, possibly eliminating property taxes. So it's an exciting time. There's a lot of opportunity for this next session.
Our second question for today. Wyoming's population of those aged 60 and over grew by 47% from 2010 to 2020, while the state's entire population grew just 2%. We know 64% of all the nursing home beds in Wyoming are paid for right now by the state Medicaid program. What do you see as the greatest barrier to helping our older adults age in their homes and communities? And what solutions would you propose?
Well, naturally, you want to say in-home health care because CNAs and homemakers can go in and at a much, much lower cost. And it's about quality of life. That is really the ultimate thing that we should use to determine this, is we want to ensure that people's quality of life is good. And so, like I say, a lot of times a CNA or a homemaker can go in and assist and improve the person's quality of life while they're living in their own home, in their own community. But one of the things, there's a 3-part to that, and everybody leaves out respite. There's a lot of times, for example, if you had a person in your family that had a stroke and you had a family member that was providing care to that family member, just because we love each other, that comes at an extreme cost to the quality of life of the caregiver. And really, most caregivers die before the care receivers do. So it's important that we take care of our caregivers. And I think Wyoming is in a very good place for that because we have excellent nursing programs in our community colleges, and we have very good young people who are trying to fill those roles. I think that we can get this solved quickly.
Thank you. Our third and final question for today. Emergency medical services are not considered an essential service in Wyoming, and in some areas, ambulance services do not have sustainable funding sources. Over the last 10 years, Wyoming has seen 16 EMS service providers in the state fold or consolidate with another service. What solutions would you offer for ensuring access to ambulance service?
Well, that is a concern in District 62, Glen Rock and Antelope Hills, Rolling Hills. We're pretty isolated from a hospital. You know, you're looking 25, 30 miles, plus different terrain and all that. But last session, they were talking about making ambulance service essential services. And I very much look at that as an option. You know, you have police and fire. Well, I think that ambulance services are a natural fit with the fire department. Most fire departments have EMTs and in some cases paramedics, but it would allow housing for the ambulance itself. It's just, to me, it's a natural union to join the ambulance services with the fire departments. And I think that it would behoove the ambulance workers too. You know, most of our providers here are volunteers. And so they're on call sitting out in the middle of nowhere in 100 degrees day. I think it'd be better on them to sit in the firehouse to do that. But, you know, we need to look at what works and what doesn't work and actually come up with a plan. And I think that we can do that. You know, again, I fall back that government is here to protect the individual liberties of the citizens, and that's something that definitely qualifies there.
Well, thank you, Mr. Campbell. You've been a good sport. You've answered our questions. Now I want to make sure that we give you 2 minutes to explain to the voters of House District 62 why you're the man for the job.
Well, I'm a veteran of the Army Reserve. I have 28 years in the Wyoming energy industry, mainly oil and gas. 12 years of that has been at the administrative level. I was a district manager where I was in charge of all the sales and operation teams for the 7 states comprising the Rocky Mountain region. I'm a Wyoming historian. A lot of people probably know me from my PBS documentaries with Wyoming PBS, Our Wyoming, What's in the Name Glen Rock. I'm passionate about our history. I have concerns that are actually specific to House 60 or House 62. The old Glen Rock Highway is a major artery between Casper and Glen Rock, specifically Evansville and Glen Rock. It's part of the U.S. highway system, but it falls under the state maintenance. This highway carries all the oil field traffic, all the wind farm traffic, plus the normal commuters between Glen Rock and Casper. And it's just become dangerous. I mean, it has actually become dangerous. I know people that won't even drive it anymore. So that is one of the things that stirred me to run for this. Is I believe that we need to get some turning lanes or passing lanes, something to where we can improve the flow of traffic on that highway and make it safer for everyone. I thank you kindly for your time. I'd be honored for your vote.
Well, thank you very much today, Mr. Campbell, for your time today, and thank you to our viewers for joining us for this video voter's guide. We encourage you to keep checking Cowboy State Daily and AARP Wyoming's Facebook page for more video voter guides in the days to come.